Hello, gang. We are back to work on Old World Map 2 today. If you've been following on, you can tell that I have had some progress. I actually got a couple hundred stitches put in this piece in the last couple of days. I always feel like my lighting is fine until I start stitching. Sometimes it just looks weird. Usually you're not in this video. Back up. And so I went in and I probably got a good 100 stitches done. Well, yeah, probably a good 100 stitches done, filling in the old stuff. Again, you could probably tell that it's definitely a lot more filled in than it has been. And I've moved ahead with, on the next page, kind of getting some stuff done, making some good progress. Again, let me show you guys where we're at with Pattern Keeper. So if we go all the way over here, we can kind of see where we're at. And so yeah, I'm going to try and focus on maybe a couple of rows at a time, then jump a couple of rows at a time. We'll see how well that works. Probably not very well, but the nice thing about having Pattern Keeper is that I will be able to tell when I haven't got a stitch done. Like if I've missed a stitch way back here, it's fairly obvious to see that I still have a stitch. When I'm working over here, for example, if I'm working over here and I pick a random color and I zoom out, I don't have anything over there, but let me find something that I might. So many things. Okay, so say let me zoom in a little bit. Say I select a color. wrong color. Come here. I gotta zoom in a little more. There we go. So say I've got this 945 to fill in. I can zoom out and I can pretty quickly see that I've got that one and that one. I don't know if you can actually see it. It's highlighted in green, but I can see it. So it allows me to move ahead, but to still go back and plug in whenever I need to. So that would work. I gotta clean my glasses. All of a sudden I've got a nice big, probably from where I picked them up. It's so funny, a couple years ago I didn't need reading glasses to stitch, but my eyesight kind of started to go around the same time the whole COVID thing happened. Not related, of course, just happened to be my age. So anyway, so we are working on right now, I think 3078. Yep, 3078. And I already had my, this is what I left off. I was actually stitching on this last night. So this is what I stitched on. Let's see here. One of these days I'll get my lighting correct on this. Come here. Feels like everything's kind of vibrating and stuff. It probably is. All right, I'm gonna move this. I'm gonna actually just pull this up and out of the way so that I can get some wood stitching done. Oh, stretch the old neck. Let's see, let's pick up from where we were last time when we last saw World Map 2. Do 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 do. I'm gonna kind of go back and forth on this one a little bit. So update on the finger issue. If you've missed, I've got this like probably what is a cyst underneath my tendon or something right here on my joint. I don't know how well you can see that, but it shows up pretty well here. Ow, and it's starting to hurt whenever I hit it. So like grabbing things, grabbing a lot of things actually does it now. It seems like it's kind of gotten a little bit bigger. I saw the doc last week and they referred me to a hand surgeon to get looked at, and we were playing phone tag a little bit, and I finally got a hold of him today. Well, I finally called them back today after they reached out to me, and they're like, when would you like to come in? And I'm like, well, and I'm just like, kind of half joking because we all know how long it takes to get in to see a specialist. And I was like, well, I can't, any day of the week is fine, except I can't come in next Monday. And so he was like, okay, you can't come in next Monday, but everything else is okay. And I'm thinking, wait a minute, that made it sound like I could go in like really quickly. And I'm like, could I see somebody tomorrow? Like, that never happens, right? And sure enough, I got in to see somebody tomorrow about my finger. So super excited, because this is starting to become a bigger and bigger issue for me doing different things. So get this thing addressed. Bada bing, a bada boom. But super impressed right now with these guys. So very happy. And the doctor's office is like less than 10 minutes away. So sweet. Right. Bada bing, bada boom. So pretty happy about it. I am enjoying stitching on a war map too. I really am. Like, I'm remembering, like, it's coming back to me, like how much I enjoyed stitching on this before, and all my hopes and dreams with it. But you know, it's funny how life takes a turn sometimes. Doesn't mean you can't. You know, the thing about that I have discovered is so many things. It's just perseverance, just pushing through, even when you're like, you get some setbacks. And if you believe in something, if you really want to do something, you should just keep pushing at it. Well, it depends on what it is, of course. You know, like I'm never gonna be able to run a marathon. Just my knees can't do it, and I also have no desire to do it. But yeah. But just like the, you know, the well, like the expo with my stitching design business and whatnot. Like you know, it's been a solid 2 years. It's been 2.5 years since I started learning how to design, and then it's been 2 years since I started the business. And I mean, that's not a lot of time. A lot of people work a lot longer on their business before they see any positive, you know, results from it. That takes a lot of faith and a lot of discipline for that. But I'm looking forward to the expo. I'm looking forward to every time I can actually meet, even virtually, a store owner who, you know, I believe in my product. I believe that people would want to stitch what I make, and I'm super excited to be a part of Expo. We had a little dry run yesterday where I had to figure out sort of how the whole virtual online talking to people was going to work for me. I think I got it straightened out. I think tomorrow, Saturday, the first day of Expo, is going to be a little weird, but it'll be all right. It'll be all right. Oh man. All right, brain is thumping along here. Thumping along. Now I might just stitch a little bit further into this side just because I can. Let's see here. Not much though. I think I'll probably just stitch this, come back here, and then move back over here. So I even think that, oh, never mind. I was like, I even think that this hurts my finger, which I'm using this needle here and I'm holding the anyway, yeah. Come on. Come on, Jules. Come on. Football starts this weekend. We got Expo, but football starts this weekend. So I hope that I'll be watching, listening to some of it while I'm filling orders. I'm very excited. So here's the crazy thing. I was going to have a printer actually print out the front page of like my cover page for my patterns, because I thought, well, it's going to be color intensive. And, you know, when I originally thought that, I thought, well, I'm going to need a larger photo. You know, it needs to be big. It's going to be a lot of color. And honestly, I kind of modified with the help of Christina's stitching shop, who's a friend and my first, you know, my true LNS. And went over there to talk to her about it, and she gave me some tips. And when I redid everything, I was like, huh, I might be able to do this on my own, but it's still printer intensive, color, you know, ink intensive, or it seemed like it. So I was like, I'll have my printer do it. And I have a printer that's like 7 minutes away, and I've gone over there and we've talked a couple times and all this other stuff, but I've had problems with placing an order because it's just done via email. And once when I went to order something, like initially, like when I was like, I need to get this, let me try this and this kind of thing. Oh no, what did I do with my scissors? I think I left my scissors. Hold that thought. Okay, back. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna lower this just a smidge so I can make sure. Come on. There we go. Get a little closer. Get a little closer. I think I said that last time. Yeah, I'm not terribly original. Anyway, so I had sent over another order to the printer or something, and she'd never gotten it. Probably went to her junk mail. And she got back to me, and I was like, no, but I sent this email, and I looked, and yeah, I had indeed sent the email, but she said she'd never got it. Well, when I, you know, like a week and a half ago, when I decided that I was gonna actually, you know, let me just go ahead and get a bunch of covers printed in anticipation for Expo, I sent her over a fairly decent sized order, and I still haven't heard back from her. So I started test printing out on my own heavier cardstock on my printer, and it seems like it's working pretty well. It looks pretty decent as long as I print it a certain way. I've had some tests and done some different things, and yeah, so I guess their loss. I like having total and complete control over my my whole process, my pattern and everything. So it suits me. I like the part. I like the fulfillment part. No, I'm not going to go work for Amazon. You know, I like that. I like inventory. I like the stocking. I like the fulfillment of orders. I probably should work for Amazon. It's probably my perfectly suited, like my brain, my mind, my soul is set for that. But I say no. See, I didn't do the loop stitch or whatnot today. Some days I remember and some days I forget. Anyway, all right. Doop, boop, 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 boop. So because of Expo, I'm gonna do this. I'm actually doing this on Thursday after I just released my weekly video. And then I'm gonna actually pull out the sea turtle. So I didn't do a sea turtle last week, but I need to release a sea turtle video. Was it? No, it wasn't. I did the sea turtle. I didn't do the new. I didn't pick a new black and white monochrome project. Which I'm actually gonna work on the giraffe. My giraffe selfie, which is adorable, I think. And so I'm gonna get that done. I only have I have under 12,000 stitches on that. That can be done pretty quickly if I can focus on it. So by the time I go to Nashville next spring, I could have close to 20 patterns stitched and framed my own, which only helps over time. It only helps. I have got a song in my head stuck because of one thing. Oh, I got a little button thing there. That's fine. I think I can get through that. I have Waterloo by ABBA stuck in my head. And the reason for it is my husband had me watch Eurovision for the first time. Well, I shouldn't say that. I've watched that scene where they do this sing-along, song-along, or whatever it is. Because it's so flippin' happy and fun and contagious. And so, anyway, I finally watched the whole thing. Funny and just different. If you're European, the culture is so different from America, but I love the openness, the variety. It's just all awesome. Just love it. I had no idea that the Eurovision thing had been going on for so long, though. That's so cool. Anyway, so a lot of pop culture progress in the last week or so since I last talked to you guys. I also finished season 4 of Stranger Things, which I honestly have watched season 1, most of season 2, and I skipped season 3, which I'm probably going to go back and watch it now because I feel like I've missed out on quite a lot. Season 4 was fantastic. Holy crap. I cried like a fair bit. And that's, I cry a lot. I cry, I'm very easy to cry because I'm a very sensitive person. But yeah, it was so good. But my husband had been asking me, please watch this, we can talk about it. And I finally was like, okay, finally. Because I'm not a big TV watcher. Never have been. I used to watch a lot more movies than I do now, but I'm mostly a YouTube watcher. And I don't do a lot of floss tube watching. You would think I would, but I'm like, no, when I do watch stuff on YouTube, it's usually like sports or video game stuff. Most of the time. Sometimes it's just general knowledge, fun stuff, but it's a lot of that. Just stuff to kind of take my mind off of whatever. farming videos is another one. My family, actually, my mom's side of the family have been farmers for hundreds of years. Although nobody's a farmer anymore, at least in my branch of the family, so to speak. Grandfather, really the grandfather's family was the farming ones. They were actually some of the first settlers in Indiana, way back when. I've been there since the beginning. You can trace it back all the way to there. And there we go. But so, when I was a kid, we had like spent our summers on the farm. My grandfather did beef cattle and corn, hay, things like that. Just a small farming operation in southwestern Indiana. There's a lot of meat that goes into that. Like, that is a woohoo! Tell me that. Like, there's a deep, I don't know, awareness, or I don't know how you even say it, like, as far as when it comes to certain kinds of farming. But I enjoy it. I enjoy watching it. So there's 2 channels, well, 3 channels really that I watch, but 2 channels that I make sure that I always watch. The first one is 10th generation dairyman. Eric, the guy on there, been following him for over 2 years now. And his daily life literally as a 10th generation dairyman. And so his family is in I think it's Lancaster County in Pennsylvania. And so they have about 200 head of Herefords dairy cows, or not Herefords. Herefords are beef cows. Duh. Did not do that. Or did I? Did I do that? I did do that. Brain. So next up, we're gonna do 745, which I think is that one. Look at all that I have to do. Nice. So he's a hard worker, that dude. He's married, he's got 2 kids now. It's funny, when he started the channel, I was pretty sure he was like 17 years old. He's probably 10 years older than that, but seems like a young dude. But him and his dad do that, and it's a lot of work, man, because they have to feed these 200 head. They milk them 3 times a day. They usually use other people for milking. They have some employees and whatnot, and then but they've got all the farming and all this stuff to do, or farming, like working on the fields, keeping everything maintained. They work on the health of the cows when they're out of the milking parlor. They've been really upgrading the life that those cows lead. It's been big changes in the last couple of years. I think a lot of it just due to the fact that he's gotten so successful. I mean, he has like 400,000 subscribers now. I mean, I used to watch him when he had like 15,000. I mean, that's when I started. So, fascinating stuff, really fascinating stuff. The other guys that I started watching just probably in the last like 2 or 3 months, Sunny Farms, SONNE Farms. Those guys, the son does the channel, but the father is in it quite a lot. I like him an awful lot. He's a cool dad, man. And they do beef cows in South Dakota. So mostly Angus. The vast majority of it's Angus. And then they have kind of branched in a little bit of Herefords, because they're actually doing a little bit of a My grandpa did Herefords, like the red Herefords. Is why I know a little bit about them. But well, actually, he did both kinds of Herefords, the different colors. Anyway, so they are primarily known for breeding bulls, or like producing bulls. But they also do a fair bit of just, you know, so it's nice seeing like a dairy management and then beef cow management and the different kinds of things that are done. Totally different world on both sides. And I'm gonna come way over here and do this one and go back. But anyway, just fun stuff, just good fun stuff. And then I occasionally will watch Welker Farms out of Montana, just because again they're just pure farmers. I mean, they don't do animals per se. They just do like crops. I don't know how many thousands of acres that they must have up there, sort of like in western Montana. But they do like ridiculous amounts of crops basically. So all right, what else do I watch? Farmers. Like I said, football season's coming up, so I watch football. There's a little bit of hockey stuff that I watch. What was that sound? Is it windy outside? It's something kind of like punk. Everybody's inside. No, they're not. That would be a dog outside. Hold on. All right. Yeah, that was a dog needing to get in. I watch a little bit of basketball stuff, mostly just to kind of keep up on what's going on in like the NBA. But I don't watch any games. I'm not an NBA person. No, I don't know where I'm at on my stitch here. Hold on. I've got it kind of cold in the house today. It's kind of nice. Don't tell my husband. No, I'm teasing. He always, he's a, what do you call it? Likes it warm. Like likes to be warm. I enjoy the environment being cold and me being a little warm. That's what I enjoy. So this time of year coming up here is going to be freaking amazing. Still got that Waterloo song stuck in my head. Waterloo. Gotta say I love ABBA though. Love ABBA. Mamma Mia is like top 10 movie for me. Totally, 100%. There's a guy, I may have mentioned him way back when, because I've been watching this guy's channel for, I gotta say, like 4 years now, 3-4 years. Samson Boat Company has been doing it's kind of every other week video. It has been for at least a year now, probably at least 2 years. they're restoring, or the guy on there, like, what's his name? It's not Jay. Leo. It's Leo. And Leo's taken on the task of restoring this old English boat, clipper boat or whatever, famous clipper boat. He's literally kind of rebuilt it from like the keel up. Like, I mean, literally, he's kind of, I mean, to be perfectly honest, like, he's taken apart. It's like if you took all the bones out of a person and put them back in, like, it's all new parts. It's still kind of theoretically like the same person, sort of. I don't know. But nope, none of you guys. Nope. You're not getting in the video. Nope. But he's been working on that boat, and he probably has at least a couple more years, even though the boat looks like, the exterior of the boat looks pretty dang good right now. He's gotten the hull done for the most part, and the basic framework inside the boat, but they're doing so many little, like, everything is done by hand, all the little pieces of wood and just everything, and so there's so much to do. It's rather expensive too, if you can imagine building a boat. The YouTube channel is done very well, and he's got a patron, and so it's helping to pay for the. I mean, it's got to be hundreds of thousands of dollars to build this thing nowadays, as much as everything costs. And he's building it in Washington State, like by, I want to say Olympia, maybe west of Seattle, Port Townsend to be perfectly exact. So it's been fun following the adventures. Now I've got my husband hooked on it, so he watches. He's probably more interested in the videos now than I am. But we keep up with it, seeing how he's doing. I remember back, I mean, it had to have been like almost 4 years ago. I actually bought the guy a hand sander on Amazon. He was having like I think on his Patreon, he was like, here's a list. If anybody wants to help, this is what you can do for me. And so there were like different hand tools and whatnot. It was like $50 or something. And so I sent, it's funny like what I've contributed to different YouTubers that I follow like over the years. So if you guys like 10th Generation Dairyman, I've bought t-shirts off of him. If anybody watches the Hoof GP, the guy that does, the Scottish guy that trims hooves of cows in Scotland. I don't really watch him anymore. My husband watches him like crazy. He weirds me out a little bit, to be perfectly honest. Like, he's almost too cheerful. And but the crush, the device, the big massive thing that he uses to hold the cow while he trims. Back when he earlier started his channel, he had this really rickety old, much smaller thing that just was more dangerous to everyone. And he did a fundraiser to raise money for, to help him buy a new one, which, honestly now the dude's like ridiculously rich, so he could have, he can afford to do whatever. But anyway, so I put money into that. So it helped him. But I think it's the one he's still using, I think. But that's kind of funny because I can be like, yep, help that guy with that. And yeah, there's a few other like pretty large YouTubers that when they were smaller and I was watching them, like, kind of contributed a bit to their development and their progress. So it's kind of funny now looking back and being like, yep, help that person with that, help that person with that, was a part of that. It's fun. It's fun. That's kind of why I like YouTube so much, because it's real. real people with real things. It's pretty cool. Ba-bum, bum, ba-bum, ba-bum, Waterloo. Ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba-ba. Stuck in my head, Waterloo. Promise to love you forevermore. Ba-dum, 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 ba-dum. Stuck in my head. It's a good song though. It's a happy song. I like that. Come here. There we go. There we go. No, I'm not talking to you. Thinks I'm talking to him. No, I'm not talking to you. Silly. Silly goose. Come here. I don't watch anything with animals, which most people would be like, what? You know, being a vet for 20 plus years, I mean, my whole life has been in animals and doing stuff, and not to say that I wouldn't do something, like wouldn't fall in love with a YouTube channel or, you know, whatever. I mean, farming is kind of like that, but it burned out and emotionally, they use a word like emotionally bankrupt. I don't even know if that's the right word for it. It's I have nothing in my tank right now when it comes to wanting to do anything that having to do with being a vet, which is astonishing considering my entire life was spent trying to get myself in a position. But the pressure, the anxiety, a lot of anxiety about just a lot of people leaning on me in an emotional way too. And I just couldn't do it. I can't do it anymore. It's mind-boggling to me that I can't. My brain won't even let me go there. So thankfully I have cross stitch that I can kind of move myself to. I have a business mindset now. I kind of have I like to think about stuff as business-wise, growing businesses, things like that. But yeah, I'm just like, I mean, I've been home for over 3 months now after stopping work, and I still have, I have zero desire to go back. I just don't want to do it anymore. It just can't do it. And then the other thing too is like in going in, like I got called in, well, I shouldn't say called in, but a friend of the practice, a friend of mine needed help, and in a particularly needy way, and in a way that always got me in trouble before because I would make exceptions and I would go out of my way and help somebody and whatnot. And the worry and the anxiety that comes with, comes outside of your normal business. You're like, oh, I gotta do this, I gotta go in. Oh, so I gotta make sure I don't oversleep. And, oh, I wonder how it's gonna go. And I gotta get in there early because I gotta do this and this and this. And so, this, it like ruined me on Monday because I had to go in for a very early thing to do. And it just ruined me. I was depressed and anxious the rest of the day. Like, I do a thing where I bounce my leg when I'm anxious, and it was like, it was going in overdrive. They should really literally connect like my bouncy leg to like some kind of energy source, because seriously, like I could power so much with that nervous leg. But I can't do it. I can't do it, and I won't do it anymore. And I'm proud of what I did. And I'm glad I did it in some ways, but I also know that it took a toll on me. And it's a toll that is honestly, I'm so grateful to have cross stitch. So grateful to have this, and to have this whole like community here, to have this schedule that I do stuff. I just eased back into this and built up what I'm doing. And even though I work a lot at it, like I have put in so much time in my business for the stitching stuff, so much time, but I love it. I love every second of it. It's not it's never made me anxious. It's never been a negative. I hope I can make this my permanent career. I don't know if it'll be successful enough to do that. It may take another couple of years to get there, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. Waterloo. So now you guys kind of know what happened with the whole vet thing. Do we want to answer questions on it? No. No, I don't. Every time somebody reaches out to me about something, I get anxious about it. So when it comes to that stuff, so no, I don't want to answer questions on it. How many stitches we got done? Less than 100 so far, but I think you'd agree with me that there's a density of these stitches that is definitely poking through. You can definitely see it. It's a little, it needs to be kind of turned a little bit from there, but it'll fit in here shortly when we get the rows set up again, these horizontal rows set up. I still haven't gotten all my floss. I definitely, well, I shouldn't say definitely. There's likely the right floss in some place in my house, but finding it is the question mark, is the big issue. Can I find it? So Oh man, deep breath, deep breath. Ba-dum, Waterloo. The water too. Ba-dum. Promise to love you forevermore. Da-dun. Sorry, I just got a quick email from work and I just took care of it. Speaking of it, I still do all the financial stuff. Like I said, I kind of like the business side of things. I like learning about business kind of things. And I do want to get to a point with the design business where I can kind of get back into releasing a few more designs. I got a couple of designs. Well, one for sure. Two that I'm going to release after Expo that I like a lot. And it's so funny because it's like I just want to stitch everything, all the things, all the time. I just love to stitch. I'll sit down and do something else and be like, all right, it's time to blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, ooh, let me go get my stitching. Watching a game, gotta get my stitching. Thought I was gonna play video games. Nope, I'm gonna stitch instead. You okay there, Binky? Binky Doodles? She's been having some allergy issues as of late. A little stuffy in the nose. Nasal stuffage. I also need to work on your nails, Boos. Well, I need to get you back up on your little throne. You're probably getting tired. I make her walk around for half the day, because if not, she would just sit there and lay there and just sleep. I like to keep her going. Binky is my little Yorkie, rescue Yorkie, who we got, it'll be 2 years on Halloween, October 31st. Isn't that crazy? She's been with us for 2 years. Oh, man. She might be the last dog we get. I don't know. We may go dogless for a while, for quite a while when this pack fades. There's just a lot. These dogs have been a lot. Well, I mean, 5 dogs, but every single one of them has something going on that makes them a little bit more, I don't know. And you add 5 in. It used to be 7. Believe it or not, it used to be 7. And they're like virtually all rescues. Doogie's the only one. The first dog was the only one who wasn't a rescue. It's kind of funny. All right, we should be able to get over 100. Yep, 104. 121. Hoorah! Hoorah! And honestly, this is probably a good time to stop the video. We got 121 stitches done, mostly up here. I will work on this some more and kind of get some more done. I am going to probably put it away for a while, though, because of I got to stitch on my other stuff, and we've got Expo coming up and everything, but I'm glad that we were able to get this done today. I'm going to take this out so that I can see a little more. Yeah, making some progress, a little bit at a time. Yeah, good stuff. All right, guys, well, thanks for hanging out with me, and I appreciate you. it's fun bringing back this old project that everybody seems to be interested in, which is awesome. So you can actually now see Asia ever so slightly written. I got a little blue that goes there, ever so slightly kind of coming in, and there is supposed to be an Asia there. The way that, where is it? Europa. Actually, I think I overstitched this in something a little darker so you could see it. So eventually I may need to do that with Asia here, just so that it's more visible. We'll see. We'll see. But anyway, thanks guys so much for hanging out, and I will see you with Old World Map in another week, and we'll see how much more we got done. So let's just keep track here. What do we got? Let me pull this down here. So we're at 7.85%. We're at 54,692 stitches. So good stuff. Good stuff. All right, guys. Have a great rest of your day. Talk to you soon.